what's going on, man? I guess it's just you and me. Let's talk about old times. I think Cal is on. Cal is on Facebook, is he not? Been a while since we've interacted. Cal was our drummer. I played guitar, and Paul played piano and flute. So Cal English. There he is. Yeah. We have 5 mutual friends. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder who that is. He doesn't have many friends. Not, not that I'm judging. Oh, you're one of them. Okay, well, that makes complete sense. Gail, Adam Beck, Ron Klain. Oh, that's funny. Ron Klain is one of our mutual friends, too. And Bob Wolfram, my next door neighbor. So that makes sense. Let's see. Did you see my new video up? Anybody? Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. I doubt Cal posts very much. He got drums on his homepage. Oh no, he posted just a couple days ago. Let's see. Oh, you remember to tune in on my, I know, right? Right, Paul. Hey, B Kitty, what's going on? You're welcome. Oh, I'm glad you watch later. I know people do because I get views. Probably 50% of the views on these live streams are after the live stream has ended. So maybe even more than that. I haven't checked those numbers lately. You know, I'm a numbers guy. And the numbers right now on my YouTube channel are just awful. I just don't have anything that's really trending my... I mean, it's still better than most. But... the revenue is about 1/3 of what it was, and then the so instead of 1 million, I'm only making 300,000 a month. I'm just kidding. Let's see let's see. So content, okay, and then I click on live, and let's just see what the views are. Yeah, the live, you know, 573, 546, 470, 473, 691, 920 back on lesson 204. So, and then if I click on any one of these individual, let's click on one from like 4 weeks ago or something. If I click on the analytics, I can see, yeah, 1 view in the last 48 hours. So it gets most of its views in the first day, obviously. Well, it gets quite a few views after that, but it's funny because it says because of this one video, for example, 211, lesson 211, it says I lost 6 subscribers. So I'm not sure what's happening there, but I have a feeling that what's happening is I'm still getting a lot of subscribers from the 7 Tips for Older Beginners. I'm not getting, you know, it's so slow right now. It's like it's going to take forever to get to 100,000. But then they get a notification that I'm live, and then they tune in and they're like, I don't want to watch this, so they unsubscribe. And I get that, you know. But this is also geared, generally, we've been trying to gear towards the beginner spectrum. Morning, Joseph. AJ, good to see you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I turned 60 on Saturday. Isn't that crazy? Didn't really do anything. I had to play at church, and we didn't go out afterwards or anything. We got my favorite pizza, and that afternoon before church we went to. Oh no, Buffering. Uh-oh. It's green now. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Thank you, David. I can hear you all singing happy birthday to me right now. But yeah, you know, didn't really do much. I don't know. We've just never gotten in the habit of making a big deal out of these things. So, you know, my wife, we're married to a guitar player. Just get used to being poor, and we just kind of never made a big deal about it. And now that we have a little bit of money, we still don't. So, we're having buffering issues. Let me see. That's not going to help for me to do a speed test, but. Thank you, Diane. Good to see you. So you can see here by it's quite a lot of music there. A lot of notes on that page because we brought in the whole eighth note thing. So eighth note allows us to have 8 notes per measure, whereas before when we were doing quarter notes and whole notes and half notes, we could only have 4 notes per measure. And since I was generally sticking to, in fact, I probably always did stick to 4 measures per line, the most notes we could have on a line was 16, 4 times 4. Now we have 4 times 8, so you could have literally 32 notes on a line. In fact, we do have down, the bottom line is 32 notes. I don't want you to be too freaked out by this, though. It looks intimidating. The thing I'm trying to teach you is some rhythms, more than I'm teaching you the notes, but I'm going. So if you look at the repeated sections, the very first one is just the 6 open string. So technically, all the notes you need to play on that, you can play with one hand. Okay? Then the next bracketed section, which those bracket symbols, those things that go facing this way and facing that way, that's a repeat sign. It means you play it twice, or if it says 3 times or 4 times, you play it however many times. If it doesn't say, you just repeat it another time. So you play a total of 2 times. But if there's a number there that says 3 times, then you play it a total of 3 times. If it says 4 times, you play it a total of 4 times. So, but really, you can play it as many times as you want. It's open input. So if you messed up, you made a mistake and they're all 6-bar phrases for the most part. Oh, yeah, except the bottom is 4. I don't know why I started doing 6, because it was 6 strings at the beginning, and I just stuck with it, and I went, Oh, wait, there's a 4. Oh, the G string is only 4 bars, because there's only 2 notes on the G string. Okay, so, but basically what this is, don't be freaked out by this. It's just different rhythms, which we're going to go over with that, and that's the first 6 bars. And then the next 6 bars is just the 3 notes on the E string, E, F, G. And then the next 6 bars is just the 3 notes on the B string. I don't stray from that. And then the next 4 bars is just the 2 notes on the G string. And then the next 6 bars, we're looking at bar, I think that's, what is that? Bar 23. We got the 3 notes on the D string, D, E, F. No accidentals, no sharps, no flats, none of that kind of stuff, no natural signs. So it's easier than you think it is. But it's not redundant. I didn't do the same melody on every string. We get down to bar 29, and we've got the A string, the 4 note or the 3 notes on the A string, A, B, C. That's full speed. I don't know how fast that was. You will not need to play it that fast. But that's the A. You can see it's just 3 notes. Okay, then the very next grouping, bar 35 through 39, that's just the low E string. So it's only the low E string and F and G. Okay, and a good opportunity to practice reading your ledger lines. Then the next thing, you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck? No, those again, we're back to open string. So we have. It's just that. I'm not even sure why I did that. I think my thinking was just to remind you the range of the guitar, at least in the open position, the range of notes you will see for the guitar. And this is as low as you'll go. So we do have ledger notes up here, but we haven't gotten there, okay? Yes, and the rhythms are what I call simple rhythms. Where's the PDF? And this is already uploaded to, I uploaded it just after I did it, plus simple eighth note intro. So I'm introducing simple eighth note rhythms. And here's what I'm going to do for you when we do complex rhythms, okay, or syncopated rhythms, you can call them either. I'm probably just going to use one string, like the G string. I may just make you go all to junior high and giggle the whole time you're playing it. But we may just do one open string, and then the goal is to start to practice reading different rhythms. And I'll try to do every possible variation. I don't know. I probably won't do every possible variation because there would be some that would be, mostly less than 1/8 note randomly placed. No, I'm not going to do that. That would be too many variations. But I will do a lot of some. We're still, oh gosh, we're going down. It says upload speed is good. What the heck? Do it again. 16 kilobytes is good, or megabytes per second, sorry. So my download speed is 48 megabytes per second. That's pretty good. I mean, I do pay for a business. Ping is 8. I don't know what that means. What does ping mean? Okay, upload. Yeah, it's 2. Not good. Let's see. John started to ask a question. Got a half a question in. When playing open strings, what? Oh, and now it says 15 megabytes per second. It's not 15 meg. It was struggling anyway. What right hand? You could do all downstrokes if you want. You could do all upstrokes. You could alternate. That would be the hardest thing to do. Oh, mute after playing. Don't worry about it. I mean, if you want to, you can. I wouldn't worry about it. In fact, usually, John, okay, this is something that is unique to guitar. Well, piano too, because they have the pedal symbol. We don't have a pedal symbol. But what that bottom line down there, that 41 to the end, you could play with your fingers. Just do that. Top 4 strings, third finger, second finger, first finger, thumb, right? And do it in reverse. Go thumb. It's essentially an E minor 7 chord. All right? "99 times out of 100, when something like that is written for, if you look at bar 42, it's more common. The ascending thing, descending also. But 99 times out of 100, they want everything to ring out. Okay, John? So it's not. If those notes were supposed to be short, you know what I would do? I would fret them. Okay, 100%. Because if it's that way, I could put some special sauce on it. But I could play it, I could fret it, but I could also, in this case, use all open strings. Okay, but it's like for guitar it would be just written like a bunch of eighth notes. It's funny because I'll get music from MIDI from composers that I'm working for, and they want my notes to ring out, and so they hold their fingers down on the piano, and it creates these long notes. And so initially when because in Logic or a lot of the software programs, I could turn their MIDI into music notation, and so I will hit the button. It's just Command 3 on the MIDI file, and it'll open up in music notation. Thank God. Unfortunately, not to. I just recently discovered it says interpret. There's a button there that says interpret, so it gets rid of all the mess. But basically, that whole thing is that it would be 1/8 note, and then another eighth note, but then this eighth note, the first one's tied to a note, eighth note there, and it's just stacked eighth notes all tied together. It's a complete chaos, complete mess, makes zero sense. It's unreadable, even though you want those notes to ring out. And there's even a notation LR, stands for let ring. And, you know, to be honest, actually other instruments could, like marimba, you know, they may want short. So if it's short, they may use a mallet or they may use their hand. But a lot of times if they're doing kind of a chord arpeggio, they want things to ring out. So generally, John, you don't have to worry about muting open strings in that scenario, okay? But if you wanted those notes to ring out as individual notes, then I would do, instead of open, where you got to keep tabs of the strings and deaden them. That's almost impossible. Taking a finger off immediately deadens the string. See, those are the same four notes. I might have trouble with this one, but a little more difficult to do those last two bars. Okay, so if we look at the notes in the first 6 bars, we have E, then the next bar is B, the next bar is G, and the next bar is D, and then the next bar is A, and then we have E. And if you want, like I always say, if you want, I'm totally fine with you printing up 2 copies of this. One to make notes on, say 0s and 1s and 3s and E's and F's and G's and right, everything you want on there. Totally fine. You can treat it as like a little quiz, even though there won't be a quiz on this. Order yours now. But then you should have a second one that you're just going to try to read, okay? And you're going to just try to see that first note is an E, and that it's here. That's the kind of stuff that you should be learning and gleaning from our lessons, is that you're learning to read music. It's, you know, the cool thing is, and I'm trying to think about what to do on the next lesson because I haven't written it yet, right? And we've learned all the strings. We've introduced eighth notes. I am going to do syncopated eighth notes, and I may just do it with one string, so we'll just be, really, we could clap everything, you know, we could clap the rhythms. But the idea is to read rhythm. Now, that's actually really, really valuable because there are going to be times where you're going to be reading rhythm charts, and there may not be any notes on it. You go, whoo, no notes, but then there may be you may say, you know, E9, and then it say D9 or D sharp 9 with a sharp 5, and then it may say D13, you know, and it may be some rhythm like, you know, you may get some crazy rhythms, and that's where kind of learning to see the rhythms. Like now, when you look at that first note, you think E, I hope, okay? We've been doing this long enough that you should see that first note and go, oh, that's an E. It happen with rhythms. You're going to get to the point where you see a rhythm, whether it's ba-da-da, or ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, some real just immediately go, oh, that's just that rhythm. Because just like notes can be, and a string of notes, you know, a string of notes can have a melody. A rhythm can be reminiscent too of something, and so da 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 da, you know. So if you're in Mexico, that ends with a bad word. I learned that living in California. If you're gonna do an ending, you know, don't do that one. Yeah, the one you do is let's see. What is the one I can't remember now. I can't remember the other ending that you would do, the cheesy, corny ending. That's the one I try to do, not the shaving a haircut, because in Mexico, on 2 bits they say, I think F you. I'm not sure. Do we have anybody that knows that? I don't know if we have anybody watching from Mexico, but my Mexican friends have told me, you don't want to do that on a Mexican gig. Hey, Gary Schultz, good morning. Max, good to see you too. Sorry, I don't know if I acknowledged everybody. It's been kind of slow here. How many people do we have watching? Yeah, not many. So, in fact, I have Dennis here. Dennis is the only moderator. I'm going to have to moderate Gary Schultz. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to happy birthday to you. I think. Oh, happy birthday, Tom. Happy birthday. Yeah, I think that's right. All right. So now, so let's talk about eighth notes. So basically, eighth notes are twice as fast as quarter notes, assuming we're at the same tempo. And so you can divide or subdivide a quarter note into 2/8, just like you could subdivide a half note into 2/4 and a whole note into 2/2. You can subdivide a quarter note into 2/8. So let's only play the first bar, okay, just the E. And your way you count these is count the downbeats are 1, 2, 3, and 4. But anything that's in between, any of the eighth notes in between are just going to be and, okay? You know, you have a 1 and a 2 and a 3. The is actually a 16th note. That would be a 16th note pattern, okay? And we'll get to those. Oh, dear Tom. Oh, happy birthday, dear Tom. Ah, right. I just don't think of myself as a deer. Never gonna see him again. Oh, that's what you say over that? But in Dutch, yeah, Dutch. Okay, so you'll notice what I did in this first 6 bars is I put the 2/8 notes on beat 1 in the first bar. I put the 2/8 notes on beat 2 in the second bar. I put the 2/8 notes on beat 3 in the third bar. And I put the 2/8 notes on beat 4 in the fourth bar. And then on the fifth bar, I did 4/8 notes on 1 and 2. And then on the sixth bar, I did 4/8 notes on 3 and 4. So just no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just trying to get you used to seeing these and reading these. Okay? Yeah, syncopation would be... A syncopated rhythm would be an eighth note without, something on the end of a beat without something on the beat before it. So if you had, like, none of these rhythms here are syncopated. They're all called simple rhythms. And so syncopation usually means you have an upstroke without a downstroke before it. If you have down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, or in this case... Every time I have an upstroke, there's a downstroke before it. But if I got rid of that downstroke at the beginning, if I went 1, 2, 3, 4, let's see. You know, if I did that, those would be syncopated rhythms because when I'm playing an eighth note on the end of the beat and not an eighth note on the beat before it, it's kind of a stranded eighth note, you might say. That's syncopated, okay? And they're a little bit more complex, a little more hard to play, a little bit harder to feel. But once you get them down, you got them down. It's not like it's super duper difficult, but they do catch you off guard sometimes, okay? But syncopated rhythms can be very interesting. It's a great way to kind of, like a lot of jazz players may just do nothing but solid eighth. Whatever, you know, and it's kind of boring rhythmically. So if you're to... You can throw some syncopations in there and make it a little bit more interesting. I'm not even sure if there were syncopations in there. But. All right, so let's look at the first bar. And the way you count eighth notes, again, are you count the beat, and then you say and. So this would be 1 and 2, 3, 4. Again, the E string, 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. The next bar is 1, 2, and 3, 4. On the B string, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, we're going to play all the way through. We'll go slow. Right now, I think you can handle this speed, but we'll go slower, and see if you can make, get all the way through without making a mistake. It's kind of hard because you got to keep track of where the beats are, and you got to keep track of where the eighth notes are. So here we go. The G string, we're going to have 2 quarters, 2 eighths, and another quarter. That adds up to a full measure. Okay, a quarter plus an eighth plus an eighth plus a quarter equals 1. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pretty common rhythm, right? 2, 3. Might hear. You might hear that in a song. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now play the D string. We're going to play 4 and. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 and. 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 Okay. Hey, Richard. Okay, now the next line, bar 5, we have 4 eighth notes of an A. This is all on the open A string. 4 A notes, and then 2 quarter note A notes. Okay, so it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Sorry. Hard to drink and pick at the same time and talk. 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3. Next one is 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. Does it look like it sounds? The great thing about music notation is it generally looks like it sounds. Okay, with tab, if you don't have, hey Richard, with tab, if you don't have, oh, let's see. Generals, I'm sorry, I just want to check and see if. Oh, yeah, I hope. Oh, I just see Aslan's poem. I'll have to check it out later. All right. The great thing about music notation, though, is it's very representational. Whereas tab, it could be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and you could make them closer together and make it look like that rhythm. But this song, to me, looks much more like that rhythm. Okay, now slowly, let's try to play this whole 6-bar phrase. Again, no left hand involved here. It's all right hand stuff. Okay, let's see. So we have. I'm going to try to go. Let's see. How slow should I go? 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's kind of a pattern. 2, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Oh, sorry. Back to the top. Oh, thank you, John. God bless you. Okay, back to the top. 1 and 2, 3, 4. B. 2 and 3, 4. Kind of hard to go from that low E to the high E. My bad. 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Look ahead. 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. Okay. You know what? We can also clap this or slap our knee or whatever. If you don't want to make too much noise, you can just slap your knee. So here's probably going to peak. I'm going to kind of. It might get compressed distortion here, but. So do this again. We're just going to clap the notes, okay? So it's 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 3 and 4, and you know what I mean. Okay. Oh, clean! Yeah, I love clean boost pedals. They're just fun. They're fun to have, especially on the front end of a tube amp, because you can just drive a tube amp a little harder, and it just you get a little bit more of that natural grunge sound. Okay. All right. So hopefully, and again, these are intended. Here's what I really suggest. In fact, we're going to do this right now. I don't know if we're going to get through all of these. We'll try. But the next line, bar 7 through bar 10, we're just on the E string. Okay, let's start here though. Let's just, oh dang it, I'm down to, nobody's complaining about buffering. How come you're not complaining about buffering? Because I'm seeing it get down there. Maybe it's catching up, I don't know, but I apologize. I don't know what's going on. I'm tempted to shut it down, start again, but then it creates a separate file, a separate session. So, what we can do is we just look at the rhythms. Don't worry about the notes. You don't have to think about left hand, right hand. We're just thinking about the rhythm. So if you just look, you can even just look at the stems more than anything. Okay, so we're starting at bar 7, and we're going to just clap the rhythms. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so you got a lot of eighth notes in a row. It's almost like you're giving me an ovation. I should stand and take a bow. Okay. Oh, I'm glad. Okay. A couple hesitations. Okay, it's really dropping down to red in the red, which means 0 kilobytes per second. And now it just did it again, and then it bops right back up. So I don't know what's going on. Okay, so it might make me kind of, which is hard to clap with me if there's a hesitation in there. Okay, but let's try it again. Okay, so bar 7 on the E string. All these notes are just the E, F, G on the E string. Okay, we're going to get to that in a second. So just try to get a little more familiar. I'll slow down a little bit. I apologize if I'm going too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Look ahead. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Bunch of eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Top. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3 and 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so that's the whole rhythm. Yeah, weird. Thanks, Gary. Gary's taking my lemons and making lemonade out of it. Now it's sitting down, though. It looks like it's sitting in the red. So something's not right. I have a feeling it's going to start getting worse from on your end. But let me play this. I'll play this, the E string one, so you can hear it with those rhythms. So it's the same, the rhythm we just did. I'll keep my guitar neck right here so you can see my fingers. But I'm only playing E and F and G. And E is on that top line space. F is on the top line, and G is the one above the staff. Okay? Hey, Jan, good to see you. So we have... Just that little secret. Actually, yeah, if I could anticipate the buffering, then I could get rid of the syncopation, right? I may watch this later and go, oh my gosh, that was awful. I'm tempted to reboot and start again. I don't know where. It's not OBS, because OBS is just the software on my computer. It's on the Spectrum side or or on the YouTube side. Let's see. Warning: stream's current bit rate is lower than recommended. Open widget. Yeah, it's been warning me this whole time. So weird. We're not having many people too. It's so weird. It's like nobody's getting notifications. You have to literally remember that I'm on. Okay, so if you want to try to play along with me, I'll slow it down a little bit. We're going to... Oh, you just got a commercial. Hilarious. Stacey Abrams. You know, when I married my wife, she had a gap in her teeth. Okay. So she doesn't now because she had a moped accident and broke off her 2 front teeth in a windshield of a car. I'm laughing. She wasn't hurt besides that. But the dentist bonded her teeth and went ahead and got rid of the gap. So I married her with a gap in her teeth. It didn't matter to me. Okay. So, all right. So here go. Top, bar 7. 3, 4. 4, 1, 2. And what you can do is, notice I put the repeat signs there at 6 bars. You can repeat every bar. Okay, so let's take the first bar and repeat it. By first bar I mean of that phrase. So bar 7. No comment, Gary. We'll do the bar 7. We'll do. And do it again. We can put a repeat sign there. Okay? 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and. So this is kind of how you get a melody down anyway. If something's difficult, the way you get it down is by breaking it into chunks and then start adding the chunks together. Okay? And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the next little chunk, and then we're going to do the 2 chunks together. Okay? What did I call? I don't want to call them chunks. What do I usually call them? Snippets. So we've really broken down the snippets. My wife actually finally woke up. Hey, babe. 12 hours?
I know, right?
She had to get some catch-up sleep.
Is that my girl?
No, I'm live on like. She's not gonna walk in here with it. I got 4,000 people right now watching, babe. I wish. I'm not Rick Beato. Okay, now the next bar 8 is F, G, G, E. And see, what's going to happen is you're going to memorize this. You'll memorize it, and you'll stop reading it. Okay, so you kind of want to almost force your eyes to look at it while you play it. And I'm going too fast. Okay, I'm going to slow down. Okay, now let's do those 2 bars together. 3, 4. Again, E, F, F, E, E. 1, 2, and 3 and 4. Okay, and so just you can repeat those. Again, try to stare at the notes as you play them, or look ahead. You know, and you're going to memorize probably before you'll be perfect at reading, but that's fine because that's why I gave you so much to read here, so much to work on. All right, the next bar is just 1, 2, and 3, 4. It should look like it sounds. 2, okay. The next bar is just 4 G's and 4 F's, okay? And if you want, you can pick, if you go faster, you can pick up and down. You know, if you're playing at a faster tempo, 1, 2, 3, 4, then you probably would go alternating. But you can do all downstrokes if you want. Okay, now, bar 9 and 10 together. I'll go slow. 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. Now what I did generally in the last 2 bars of each of these 6 phrases or whatever, is I kind of try to mix it up a little bit so that it wasn't going dot, you know, 8th notes on the same note. It would be moving within the 8th note. So you can see that right away. Okay, that's bar 9, 10, 11. All right. Oh yeah, how do you like that? 5 songs with 2 chords. Buffering again. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. You don't need to sing along. And 2, 3 and 4. And again, if you want, you can start out with clapping. You know, clapping the rhythm. And stripping the notes of any pitch at all, so that you don't have to think about anything, just the rhythm. And then the other thing, you can sit down and go, okay, what notes are there? E, F, G. Okay. So you can kind of strip the rhythm away and just look at the notes and go, okay, it's E, F, G, and then G, F. Okay, so what's the rhythm? Now let's do those two things together. So you can even break the chunks into chunks. Okay. Now, so where is Bruce and Holly? Did they say I'm on? I don't see them saying they weren't going to be here. I hope they're okay. Let me text Bruce real quick. Maybe he told me he wasn't going to be. No, he said happy birthday. Oh, cell phone service here is very poor. Okay, hope to get. So he must be back up north. He must be back up visiting family in Vermont, New Hampshire. I can't remember. I think it's one of those 2. My sister. I have a sister in outside of Boston, and another sister outside of Providence. Back there. I think Alex and Jack are going to be going to Boston to go camping in Vermont. They love doing that. All right. And then the last line is, oops, is what's written there. No way. So they may have lost power too. I knew there was an earthquake. I didn't realize it was in Holly's neighborhood. Thank you, Sam. Okay, so that's what's going on there. And it's more of the same here. If we look at bar 13, we got the B string. So the 3 notes on the B string are B, open B, which is in the middle line. Okay, above that, the second space from the top is C, first fret, right there, first finger. And then the second line from the top is D, is the D note, all right? And if we go through initially and just do the rhythms, bar 13 to bar 18, we'd have this. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 4. I'm repeating. 2 and 3 and 4. A lot of eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. You can record this 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and play it back when you want applause. Okay, so you can see when it's solid eighth notes, you just 1 and 2 and it's like it's just solid eighth notes. The other thing you can do, instead of doing your hand, not a bad idea to go ahead and pick it, and we can just do all the notes. And this is true for all of these, or anything you're working on that's maybe a little complex and you want to simplify it, all right? And we're going to talk, when we get to 16th notes, we're going to talk about how to simplify. I've already talked about that. In fact, if any of these things are too complex, or if you get some eighth note passage that's too complex, you just double the value of every note, and 1 bar becomes 2 bars, 2 bars become 4 bars. In Wisconsin, there's a bar on every corner, right, Gary? So you have 4 bars on every intersection. But by doubling the value, then it becomes less scary because you're seeing quarter notes and eighth notes, or quarter notes and half notes and whole notes instead of eighth notes or whatever. So, but we can take bar 13 and we can just play the rhythm with the B string, because that's the string we're going to use for this passage. And 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 17, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay, so very boring, but seriously, by the time you get to the end of this, and of course at the end we got almost solid eighth notes on a lot of stuff, but there won't be any eighth note quarter note combination that will catch you off guard, because you're going to get them. You're pretty much getting them all here, all the simple ones. Syncopated ones, no. If Roger were here, I'd ask him to calculate how many possible combinations we could have of simple eighth notes in a 4-beat measure, with no rests and only quarter notes and eighth notes. So a very, very small calculation, really, to be honest. I think I've hit them all here. And so the idea is for these rhythms not to surprise you, or to just be like, yeah, they're easy, because you're seeing, kind of getting them all. All right, I'm going to play 4 on every corner and 2 in the middle of the block. Yeah. Oh, nice. South Milwaukee. Okay. Actually, I may be in, well, no, oh gosh, I may actually, I don't know. Alex or I, one of us is going to be in Vegas in August for a week. It's like, I was looking at the temperatures. It's like the low is 90. The low. I'm like, really? You just never leave the hotel. I mean, the gig is at the hotel, and you're staying at the same hotel. We're flying in. You get off the plane, you die. You get in the car, you're fine. You get to the hotel, which is literally right next to the airport. I mean, the airport, McLaren, is right next to what's it called? What's the Vegas Strip? The main strip. And so then when you get to the hotel, then you're fine, because it's all air conditioned. But dang, you buying? Good. I want to go to that restaurant there. Look right by your house. summer cabin. It looks so good. But I know if I lived there, I know what I'd do. I'd burn myself. I'd go there every day for a year, and then I'd be burned out. I'd be like, dang it. I tend to do that. So. Wow. Yeah, I've seen Tommy Emmanuel. I haven't seen Joe Robinson. I've seen Tommy Emmanuel at a guitar store playing. You know, it's a pretty small venue, and it was free. I don't think I had to pay anything. I think he was talking about some. In fact, you heard my Django thing. I'm going to upload that soon. I actually sent the mix off to a friend to see what he thought of it. I should probably have someone mix it. You know what? I may have my friend Kirk mix it. But the that's awesome. Yeah, I haven't had a good fish fry in a long time. Okay, so I'm going to play 13 through 18. All right, I'll just play. If you want to join me, you're welcome to. I'll loop it around, but I'm going to try to go slow. Probably too fast for most of you. But if nothing else, if you want to clap the rhythm as I play, or play the open B string as I play, it's going to create some nice dissonance when I play the C and you play the B. But the main thing we're trying to get today is just review all the notes, and none of these are sharps or flats or anything, just the basic, you know, just those notes. And then main thing today is we're trying to learn some rhythms, some basic eighth note rhythms, basic, non-syncopated. Here we go. 13, 2, 3, 4. Back to the top of 13, bar 13. Okay, there we go. So I just played it 3 times through. The idea is, you know, for you to kind of work it up. And again, you can do it 1 bar at a time. Cameron and Skidwar, I'm assuming they're friends. Have you heard of Normal Life by Strider? I have not. Is that like a metal tune, a metal band? Strider? I think I've heard of Strider, but I'm so... No. When I was a little kid, my bed was warm, but not for the right reason. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Strider, but maybe I'll check them out later. I think we got a couple trolls. I may have to boot them. Yeah, Striper, yeah. I remember Striper. I don't remember Strider. Okay, so the G string here, I just got 4 bars, because again, there's only 2 notes that we have right now on the G string. Open G and A. And the open G, or the G note, is on the 2nd line from the bottom. Okay, you see this in bar, I'm talking about bar 19. And then the A note is on that space above it, so it's the 2nd space from the bottom. and that's an A note. And I generally play it with my second finger. You know, it just depends. I mean, like if you're playing a D chord, you might play it with the first finger. So, but like on D, I might play it with my first finger, but with the second finger. Okay, so let's see. So that, we can do the rhythm first too. The rhythm is not very hard. Okay, we got 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and so the rhythms in the bar 21 and 22 are identical. Okay, so that may make it a little bit easier. I need a little bit more light. Let me grab a little bit more light there. That may help. So let's see. Let's try this. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's hard. 1 and 4 and 1, 2. Skid War, I'm not sure. If you've got issues, you need to go to someone who can help you. I'm a guitar teacher. I'm not a psychologist, so I can't help you with any suicidal thoughts you're having, if that's what you're trying to say. So, you can, it's not really the place for that. There's probably someone live on YouTube right now that's actually counseling people who have issues like you're dealing with. But if you're having issues with guitar playing, this is the right place. So that's all I'm saying. Okay, so we have, let's see, bar 20. Yeah, so bar 21 and 22 have the same rhythm. Pretty simple. Let's just play it with the open G string. Let's not even play the A note. Okay, keep it a little simpler and just play the rhythm. 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. All right. Boop, boop, boop. Super easy to do this. And this. All right. Actually, no, let's do this. And there we go. Exactly. I'm professional help for the guitar player. Okay. So, and I don't doubt they have other accounts that they'll show up in a second on. So, let's see. 1 and so again, I'll do the rhythm with just the G string. Okay. 3, 4. 1 and 2. 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yeah, I doubt they're even 12 years old. So I doubt they lost his wife and his child. That would be unlikely for a 12-year-old. Okay, now let's play this rhythm here. Let's see. Let's play it with notes. Here we go. 3, 4. Oh, take it. Oh, Dennis, you taking off? Oh, no. Okay. 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay, so this is one where you might want to break it down. Let's look at bar 20, which is the solid eighth notes, so that should be fairly easy rhythmically, and it's only 2 notes, but still, it's not easy. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, that makes sense. So it's solid eighth notes, but the notes kind of vary a little bit. Yeah, sorry, Jan, it's buffering a little bit. It's green right now, but I just noticed that it dropped down to red there for a second. Okay, so the first bar there, bar 19, is just. So that one's easy. Okay, and then bar 21 is. I'm repeating bar 21. And then bar 22 is kind of the inverse of that. Uh-oh. Well, at least you have the music in front of you. If the screen froze, you still have the music. So that's good. Let's see. Let me see. I can run the speed test. It seems to be. I'm all green here though on OBS. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's a drag though. And now it says excellent connection. So who knows? Okay. Sorry, I just want to. Oh. All right. Yeah, generally the video is the only thing that buffers. Okay, now we can move on to the D string, which is bar 23 through bar 28. And the notes on the D string are D, open D. The second fret is E and an F. Okay, and the notation for that is the D is below the staff. Okay, and E is on the bottom line of the staff, and an F is on the bottom space of the staff. So it's right there, kind of at the bottom of the staff. So it should be fairly easy to read. I'll play this one time through just so you can hear it. There's no really melodic sense, although this could be a good D minor study, I suppose. So that's the 6 bars. Let's play the rhythm. Ah, dang it, it's buffering again. Okay, so let's clap the rhythm out, and hopefully you can hear me. I know you can hear me, but hopefully it won't buffer while I'm in the middle of this. Let's see. Okay, here we go. 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. 1, and 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, I'm probably going too fast. Let me slow it down a little bit. Again, bar 23. Here we go. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. So that's the rhythm for it. We can do the same thing again. It's great. When you have some difficult music you have to work on, it's great to take it down to the basics. Okay, that was the rhythm. Now we can incorporate the guitar ergonomics into it by playing the same rhythm with just the D string. Okay, again, these are just exercises and little studies, so there's not really anything too real world about this. My thinking for the next week's lesson is I've got now the whole fretboard for the most part, including sharps and flat. I can do G, scales. There's lots of things we can do. I actually may drop a new video this week. 3 different C major scales, one for a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. It's just a 5-minute video, so I think it'll be pretty popular. If people like it, I'll do multiple versions of it. So let's see. What was I going to say? My brain just shut off. But yeah, so let's try just on the D string. Let's do this. Oh, I know. The thing I'm thinking about for next week's lesson is just to maybe incorporate some, some known melodies and have them in notation that you can start to read those. That may be the next thing. Beethoven, Bach, maybe Beatles. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I'll throw some. I may do that, or we may just start trying to chip away at kind of conceptualizing a little bit more musicality and more likely kind of things you could see rather than just pure randomness designed to help you learn something, learn places on the fretboard. Anyway, okay, so D string, we're bar 23, right? Yeah, 23. We go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 25. Oh, Catherine, you missed the trolls. 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 bar 26, 1 and same as bar 25. Straight 8th notes here, bar 27, 3 and 4 and 1. 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. So I'm going to try to play that. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to try to go slow enough for you. But again, our 3 notes are D, E, and F. Okay, and so I'm just going to play it. And if you can play along, great. If not, don't worry about it. This is good practice for later. And again, break it into little chunks. The first bar and then the second bar, and then do the first and second bar together. and do the third bar and the fourth bar and do the third and fourth bar together. Then maybe do the first 4 bars together, so on and so forth. Yeah, you missed the excitement. And Catherine, is psychology one? Is that what you teach? Would have come in handy, I think. Okay, so or maybe not. Probably wouldn't have come in handy at all. I have a feeling it doesn't really play in these situations. Okay, so here I'm going to play this, and we can try to jam along. Okay, 3, 4. Just follow along with your eyes if you can't play. Okay, so that's that one. That's all right. I knew what you meant. Let's see. I fully expect. Well, we'll see. I don't know. All right. Oh, and how many of you saw the new video? The 5 songs for with 2 chords. Yeah, and I have more songs that I can do. It's hard. I mean, I want to have songs that people know. I mean, I don't know how many people know Tulsa Time, or even Season of the Witch, which was one of Donovan's biggest hits. But I don't know that it was. Most people know Season. To be honest, I didn't do it. I did, doing research on songs with 2 chords. I mean, a great one was Eleanor Rigby, which is one I did. And actually, I thought the Therefore I Am by Billie Eilish, that's a great example of a 2-chord song. It's just 2 chords. And the same thing with I Melt With You, although I messed up after I did the video, I realized there was a bridge section that only is like 8 bars long at the end of the song. Actually has 3 other chords in it. So a very simple section, but I didn't teach that. I just taught the meat of the song. I Melt With You. Oh yeah, well, I liked your comments, I'm sure. Yeah, in fact, I think you said that you played that I Melt With You in a band. I never played. By the time I moved to LA, I'd stopped doing top 40 bands. I've never played in a top 40 band in California. I did that in Indiana with a couple bands, and kind of decided I wasn't going to get in that. I mean, it would have been probably smart to do it, but I kind of felt like I wanted to work on something that was original and had potential for real. No one got famous playing in a cover band. I don't know if I wanted to be famous, but I was in a lot of original bands, and the idea was to get a record deal and sell a bunch of records and tour the world, which of course never happened. But that's okay. Probably better. I might not have ever met my wife, had my kids. Life would be completely different if I'd done that. So, the backup vocals, yeah. Yeah, the bass line on that one is it hard? I can't remember. But it's a very good up-tempo, fun. I mean, like I said, I actually cut that out of the video. Dancing at clubs, it just sounded weird, like I was a dancer in a club. No, I remember going to clubs and dancing. That's why I cut it out of the video. I remember going to clubs and dancing to the songs, that song and songs like that. I even ran sound at a sound at a bar that had top 40 bands in it, and one of the bands came in that did that song was a band called the Lost 45s, which I thought was a great name for a band. And the guitar player in that band became a friend of mine. His wife even cut my hair for a while in Pasadena. So, let's see what else is going on. Well, it doesn't look like we're buffering. Of course, as soon as I say something, it probably will. Yeah, we're not doing. I mean, the peak we had 22. I'm going to take away 2, really 20, because 2 of those were trolls. They came on at the same time. They kind of gave themselves away. Yeah, as soon as I saw them, I went, yeah, troll. But we deleted. I mean, got rid of the comments there. So. And let's see. All right. So the next one, the A string. If the notes on A, the open A string is on that second ledger line underneath the staff. Okay, that first bar is all A's. And then the next note, the note below the first ledger line is B, and the note on the first ledger line is C. And that is A, B, C. That's open, second, and third frets. Okay, very simple. But if we were, again, and now look at the rhythm on this one. This one's actually pretty darn simple. I went 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, so on and so forth. So Walter's coming over today. Walter, the drummer at church, going to do some recording. He's starting to do some writing for some. He started to do some composing for animation. Gabriel, what's going on? And he started doing some composing for animation. So, but I think actually we're going to do some experimenting on something. So, but too bad Walter couldn't come over right now, and then he could say hi. We could jam. Crazy, he moved to Nashville. So he's in Nashville now, but he flies here every weekend to play at church and do other gigs. And sometimes during the week too, like he's doing a bunch of movies and stuff like that. So he's going to be out here a lot in the next month or two. He's working on the new Batman and some other stuff. So. Okay, so we have an A. So instead of clapping, let's just play the A note, open A string. We'll play these rhythms starting at bar 29 and going to bar 34. Ready? 3, 4, 1. Hey, Bruce, you missed the excitement. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Thank you, Bruce. So bar 29, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and a lot of eighth notes. Okay, so the thing you can do, another thing you can do besides writing the fret numbers if you want, again, I prefer you to do that on a separate piece, print this up and do it on that paper, but read this one with no markings on it to kind of force you to read music notation as it's handed to you. And there are times where if I get music handed to me and it's got the high ledger, you see the ledger lines, because it's just so common on guitar to see this E note. Not a problem reading that. A little thrown off sometimes if it goes that deep. So like if they have drop D in there or something like, then my brain kind of like gets a little, what's D again? But generally it's the higher ledger lines, the higher notes that I struggle with. And sometimes I may write, oh, that's a B and that's a C and that's a D. Not B, but when I'm up here, like maybe in this range, G. See, this is on the third ledger line above, so I'm good to there. It's that F, G, A. Then it gets a little, because it's so rare. Usually, hey, Steve Barry, good to see you. Usually, when you're writing that high, you write it down an octave and put an 8 VA above it. That means play it up an octave, and that's easier. I'd much rather read this E, that E right there, and say 8 VA, like 8 V8 tomato juice, and then like whatever. I'd rather read those notes than read the ledger line notes, and that's true for most musicians. So that's usually what happens when they write that. So. No, lesson's not over. No. Oh, you were lurking during the troll attack, but you couldn't get it? You couldn't moderate for me, huh? What's wrong with you, man? I was like, dang. Of all the days for Holly and Bruce to be gone, I guess Holly, the earthquake, I forgot. I know they had a 5.8 or 5.9 earthquake up north, but I didn't know, California's so big. A year ago on 4th of July and the 5th of July, we had earthquakes here. Kind of made the pool go like this. I didn't see any damage. I think we lost a couple tiles on the pool that had to get re-glued, but other than that. And we're buffering a lot too, Bruce. So it's not your bad reception necessarily. You must be up north. So yeah, there's that, and then I got the E string, and then the 41 to the end. Those last 4 bars are just. It's just to help you see. I mean, a lot of times you'll see eighth notes a lot. That would be all eighth notes, and so it's rhythmically it's a very easy thing. It's just solid eighth notes. But then maybe some of the voices might be hard, or the right hand might be difficult, or something. But yeah, eighth notes in that scenario is very, very, very common to have for adjacent strings in eighth notes. Low E is the bottom one, or that bar 35 to 40. Kind of hard. Again, you'll be playing much slower than that. Tempo-wise, it's up to you. And if you want, you don't have to like put the metronome at 50 and have to hear eighth notes. You could if you want to play at 50, just put the metronome at 100, and that would be your eighth note. Okay, and that way you're not having like all this space between. If a tempo's really slow, I like to hear eighth notes. If the tempo's fast, sometimes you just want to hear half notes. Dennis the Hammer was on it. Yeah, Dennis was on it a little bit. There was one there were a couple really weird comments, and I doubt they're still on. Since they can't engage, they're probably long gone. But they're not. I didn't ban them. I don't think. I just what was the? I just hit them. So that means that they can still see, but they can't necessarily comment. I've got a lot of comments I think I have to moderate, but that's none of them are from them. So we're good. So how's everyone? Gary, is Gary still there? I think Gary took off. Sam, you're still here. You finally not getting rain now? Yeah, I gave him a timeout, but then I just said forget that timeout thing. I could have just done that, but instead I just went ahead and blocked them because that way they got rid of their old comments. I think putting them a timeout only stops new comments for like 300 seconds. Let's see what else is going on. Wow, what did I get for my birthday? Let's see. Beth gave me earpods. Let's see. For my iPhone, so when I go jogging, I don't have a cable. Now I haven't done this. But I have, like, with the headphones in and the cable dangling down in my pocket into the phone. I have caught the cable on like door handles in the house, but I was afraid when I was jogging because I'm actually here. I'm running in the street by our house because the street that I'm running on, I could literally run 2.5 miles and maybe have 2 to 4 cars pass me, come from behind or in front of me, hardly at all. And the asphalt is much softer to run on than the concrete sidewalks. And the sidewalks have all these, like, if I don't concentrate the whole time on the sidewalk, I could easily trip up. And I really don't want to break an arm or a face or a hip or anything. So thank you, Gabriel. I appreciate that. And then, let's see. But anyway, so I got the earpods and I used them today and they work great. I need to learn how to turn up and down the volume because I had to get my phone. I know there's a way. And the cool thing is you take one out and they both mute, which is cool. So if you're like a phone call, if you get a phone call, you would use the earpods. But you take one out and they both mute, which is nice. The other thing is the case that it comes in is also a charger. So, like, I noticed it said the earpods were charged at 90% and the case was at 99%. So if you put the earpods in the case, they charge there, even if it's not plugged into anything, which that's dope. So I know there's tapping things that I have to read the instructions. I haven't gotten there yet. No new instruments. Did I show you guys the Tagle Harpa? I did get a Tagle Harpa a couple weeks ago, or maybe, gosh, it's been probably 3 weeks ago now. I'm trying to think if there's anything on I don't have anything ordered. I'm not sure. I'm supposed to do a lot of work this month for the game that shall be unnamed at this point until it gets announced. And then, so I may pick up some more weird instruments for that. I actually got asked if I had an African harp, which is a really fascinating instrument. I'd never seen one until recently. Excuse me. And but the cool thing was that the composer, he said, no, actually there's a guy that literally plays it in New York City. So he hired that guy, which I almost preferred some ways that the guys that actually play the instruments get hired. Although when I got the music, I could have totally done it. It was very easy. In fact, I played the part on several instruments like ukulele and stuff, just so you had double options and they could get more layers and stuff. And that wasn't for that game. That was for Apex Legends, which I do all the guitars on. So take a sip. Anytime I mention that I play all the guitars on Apex Legends, you can take a sip. And then let's see, what's the and then Alex got me a soundbar we got a new TV and Alex got me a soundbar for that, so that was cool. So I want to get a matching sub. Not that I listen to a lot of movies and big explosions and stuff like that, but it might be nice. We'll see. I haven't decided where I'm going to put it, but and then what else? And then Jack took us for a really nice sushi place, and we ate a lot of sushi. and that was fun. So yeah, so it was good. I mean, it was pretty cash, pretty standard for us. We don't really go crazy. Next year, I'm hoping to go. I'm trying to work it out, trying to figure out how to do it, but may go take a sailing trip in Croatia. Jack knows how to sail. Beth is learning. Beth is taking lessons, and so and I actually may tag along for a couple lessons too. It always can't hurt to have people familiar with the terminology. But the cool thing is, you go every port. You stay on the boat. You know, the boat will sleep like 6, and you stay on the boat and go into port. Take the little dinghy into port, and then you go shopping, go do whatever you want to do. You know, sightseeing and everything, and then so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think Gabriel's new, but welcome. Good to see you. And there's if you look at my pinned chat up there at the very top, that's the Discord link. The join link. You can join up, and all of these. So see this right here. See this right there. Okay, there's a full PDF for that. Okay, that's a screenshot of the PDF where I cut off the top and the bottom, and I have done it for all of these lessons and all of our lessons. And you can see learning different strings. You can see all the quarter notes. Like, we didn't have eighth notes back then. It looks so simple now, right? Look at all those half notes. All right. So that's all at the Discord under Tom's, it's called Tom's Lesson PDFs and live stream something. Live stream lesson list. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, the PDFs are all there. I mean, we go way back. I mean, this is lesson what? 215. I mean, it's crazy. So yeah, it's. Sorry, I'm gonna check something out real quick. Turn this off. I don't get feedback or anything. My new video is doing pretty good though. Views. I actually just now attached it to. So if my most popular video, the 7 tips, I put it there as a little card that shows up at the beginning of that video. So hopefully that'll drive some more traffic to it. Content. Let's see. Where is it? YouTube. I'm just curious. Okay. Oh, an ad. No. Okay. I just pulled up what I'm doing right now, the live stream, and no downvotes. So I thought the trolls would have downvoted me, but they didn't. But I don't care if they do. Let's see. Yes, which not to use. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, Croatia looks beautiful. It's actually a very reasonable place to travel around. And I thought about doing a driving. I've never driven in Europe. Dennis probably was like, it's no big deal. but just for two reasons. One, I'm a little afraid, particularly in England. And that's probably more likely where it's going to happen than anywhere. Because, if I'm going to do a trip to Scotland, there's no way I'm just going to go to Glasgow for 8 days or 10 days. I'm going to want to see the country. That's the reason you go to Scotland. Same thing with Ireland. The reason you go to Ireland is to see the country, and to go to a lot of places. And I was trying to kind of put together some kind of like tour of Scotland where every night every other night we'd be in a different castle that had been turned into a hotel or something like that. But because that's kind of the point of Scotland and Ireland, is just to kind of see the things. Same thing with Croatia. It's a long, skinny country right along the Adriatic? You got to know it's probably not enough to keep you not enough for me to be entertained for 10 days to stay in one city. And so, don't drive myself. Oh, in England. Yeah, I know. Well, in London, particularly. I wouldn't drive in London. I would fly into London, but for Scotland, no, I'd probably fly into Scotland, Edinburgh, or Glasgow, whichever was cheapest, and then rent a car there. And then, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the best way to do it. So yeah, but you know, driving in some places, you know, most of Europe is like rural America. It's not difficult to drive in. And it's not like insane traffic. And Rome, I wouldn't drive in Rome. Gosh, or London. London is just Rome is insane. London's just should be. It's a parking lot. So Paris, yeah, it looks kind of insane. But Rome was literally crazy driving. I mean, I never saw an accident, so it wasn't like that. It was just like they're good drivers. It's just crazy. But the thing about Croatia is it's a long, skinny country with all these ports and everything. It's like, well, that's kind of Jack was talking about. Oh, I want to sail it. And I'm like, well, we could maybe make it a family thing, and it'd be kind of fun. So it won't be cheap. But I think the boat ultimately the boat would be cheaper than getting two hotel rooms or an apartment in every town. So yeah, see, Catherine, exactly. I think that's exactly what's gonna look right. Was it look right and keep left? Dang. Yeah, and you're also sit on the wrong side of the car, so it just kind of it's. Now, I would get an automatic. I can't drive a stick anyway, so driving a stick with left hand, it'd be funny if I actually learned how to drive a stick in England, and I could only do stick with the left hand, my left hand. But I've heard of horror stories too, people, like all those combinations of things you have to learn or do, too much. Yeah, well, Steve, especially some of those small little old villages and stuff like that, getting a car, you can't have an SUV in some of those places. I just, watching Top Gear, it gives me, like, oh, I couldn't do that. So I don't know. I mean, maybe if we waited for, again, Ireland and Scotland could be one of those things we wait until we're maybe 10 years older and do one of those bus tours. I don't want to do a bus tour in my 60s. I feel like I want to be a little more independent than that. And Isle of Skye, is that in Ireland? It sounds like something in Ireland. Not driving stick is just lazy. Yes, that's exactly right. I am lazy. So I admit it. I've never driven stick. I don't even know how to. I don't even know. Oh, I forgot. I got to fix a string. Got a broken string. On my cheap Squire. Yeah, I've never learned to drive a stick. Just never had to. I was at automatics, so and power steering. Although one of my cars didn't have power steering. Now I think about my Honda did, but most every other car I've had has had power steering. They bump cars into anything in the way. Yeah, and that's the trouble with a rent-a-car. It's like, I mean, the last few times I've rented a car, I went ahead and got the maximum insurance. Even though I have insurance, it's like I don't want I don't want them to nickel and dime me and go, oh, there's a nick there and there's a dent there, and it's like, okay, $400 later, it's like, so yeah, I would think that. Yeah, Sam's saying that when he rented a car in '83, adjusted quite quickly. I would think that actually sitting on the opposite side of the car would help to readjust you in the sense that it would be a constant reminder that you're supposed to drive on the left-hand side. If I was driving a right-handed, a normal where I'm seated, normal, not normal, but US in the left-hand side, I think that would. If I were driving that in England, I'd be more likely to get on the wrong side of the road. But if I'm already sitting on the wrong side of the car, I think it would be like a constant reminder to drive on the wrong side of the road. Hey, Grace Henry. My patron, yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. You like my lectures. Well, I like giving them. As everyone there will testify, I like talking. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Catherine. Okay, no problem. See you next week. I'm not sure what the next week's lesson is. It might be melodies that you know already, which is dangerous because then instead of actually reading, you're just going to play by ear. Or I may just write some melodies that are that kind of make sense. With a harmony or something like that, where I might just do melodies where you go, okay, tell me what the harmony is. If we did like. I don't know. That might be the way to go. I would, if I was going to take melodies, I'm not too worried about copyright infringement or anything like that. But I might take a Beethoven melody here or there. Or I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm probably going to need to decide. But anyway, thank you for joining us, and I will check out. If you haven't checked out the new video, here's a link to that. My latest video. Let me see. Uploads. Here it is. Get shareable link. All right. So maybe click on open that in a new window right there, and check out my five songs with only 2 chords. Did 5 more of those. So I've got 3 of those videos up. This one's number 3, and I could do a couple more. It's just hard to find songs that people know. Two of the songs on this one, I knew Tulsa Time because I had that album. So I knew Tulsa Time. I just didn't remember it. Only 2 chords. And Season of the Witch by Donovan. I don't remember ever hearing that song, but that was, if you grew up in England and you were my age, you probably knew it. It was a hit for him, but I don't know that it was much of a hit in the U.S. In fact, it might say on the Wikipedia page, Season of the Witch, Wiki. June 67, recorded 66, released 66. Oh, it was recorded at Columbia in Hollywood. Interesting. Okay. So, right at 5 minutes. 5 minutes of 2 chords. Seriously. Mickey Most was the producer. Played a white Telecaster. A D ninth with a G flat bass. G major 7th. G major 7th with open G. He totally. Yeah, so there's definitely a 3rd in the bass. I heard that. But a simpler version of that didn't have it. Let's see. Cover versions. Reference critical reception. I don't see. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. What? Digital songs. That's weird. It probably got used in a movie or something. Oh, this is digital. Oh, charts and. Oh, weird. Chart performance for season in 2019. That's kind of weird. Wonder why. Where did cover versions? Blues Brothers, Joan Jett, Lana Del Rey. Oh, that's probably why. Okay, Lana Del Rey did a cover in 2019. Al Cooper with Stephen Stills did a cover. Vanilla Fudge did it. Oh, Hole did a cover too. That's funny. Dr. John. Yeah, when I click on Donovan's wiki, does it even show up as one of his main? Mellow Yellow is and Hurdy Gurdy Man are the 2 songs I know. Mellow Yellow especially. But I'm not seeing that. Oh, he taught John Lennon a fingerpicking style in '68 that Lennon employed in Dear a Warm Gun. Look at that. It's amazing. It's the Beatle thing. It just amazes me. Always love those little tidbits. So Donovan taught John Lennon how to fingerpick, and and Dylan taught the Beatles how to smoke weed. All right. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm getting ready to go. Hey, Aslan, sorry. Thank you for the poem. I'm going to sign off now. I have to go, but I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. I'll see you next Monday. If I'm going to do some kind of, I'll make an announcement on Discord if I'm going to do a some kind of Zoom gathering of some kind. Okay. And anyway, and then I'll try to come up with something. I'll try to do it sooner than later and post it so you guys can be working on the next lesson in advance. I don't know how many of you do that, but it's always a good idea. Hey, It's so funny, Walter. I was just talking about you. I was saying, hey, Walter's going to be here. Too bad he couldn't be here, right now, and we could jam for y'all. But anyway, Walter, I'm signing off. I'll see you. I'll see you later today. Okay. Oop.